EVE Online, developed by CCP Games, the biggest sandbox MMO. It's been running for a real long time. Probably one of the best examples of indie dev studio create something that seems to be timeless, at least in a space where games usually go away. MMOs typically always go away, and especially ones that don't have a lot of funding and are very niche. EVE's been a pioneer in doing things that people said couldn't be done. And then they sold to Pearl Abyss, the company who makes Black Desert Online, and is basically just a massive monetization pit designed to milk people for experiences that could be better, but instead are expensive. They've just announced, CCP Games, they are making a new AAA title set within the EVE universe, utilizing blockchain technology. They've received $40 million, led by Andreessen Horowitz, for an innovative new AAA game. It's going to be an MMO, it's going to be on blockchain, and of course, with that comes a lot of things. So we're going to read this, and then we're going to go over the fact that there's some big problems with this, aside from the fact that blockchain gaming is, in general, like, pretty bullshit, in my opinion. CCP Games created a sci-fi spacefaring MMO, EVE Online, announced today that $40 million in financing has been secured from external partners. This financing will allow CCP Games to build upon the discoveries of its research and development team to enable the full-scale development of a new AAA title utilizing blockchain technology set within the EVE universe. Since its inception, CCP Games' vision has been to create virtual worlds more meaningful than real life. Now, with the advancements into blockchain, we can forge a new universe deeply imbued with our expertise in player agency and autonomy, empowering players to engage in new ways. This financing has marked an exciting frontier in our studio history, and we begin our third decade of virtual world operations. We're humbled by the confidence from our partners in the development of this new title, says CEO of CCP Games, Hilmar Vegard Petersen. With key game systems developed on-chain, this new project will also leverage smart contract blockchain technology, focusing on persistence, composability, and truly open third-party development to create a new relationship between virtual worlds and players. This financing was led by Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z. Remember this guy, because we're going to be talking about this in a minute, with participation from Makers Fund, Bitcraft, Kingsway Capital, Hashed, Nexon, and additional participants. CCP Games is a pioneer in virtual worlds and digital economies with 25 years of experience creating living sandboxes with unparalleled depth. They are a veteran team, and we believe in their ambitious vision to deliver incredible player experiences at the intersection of best-in-class game design and blockchain technology. Well, they're not going to have much actual competition, are they? Because this is one of the first real studios we've seen that aren't just like bits and pieces of random other people that worked on games just joining together to make a blockchain game. This is people who have made and operated one of the most successful MMOs, at least as a time frame, and having, you know, millions of people play the game over the last 20 plus years. So this is about as legit as it comes in terms of like a chance for a game on blockchain, an MMO on blockchain, to actually do well. But obviously, when it comes to stuff like this, we only have to look at where we've already been and what we've already had. People like to present blockchain as like this new thing that can introduce something into gaming that we've never had before, like owning things in a real-world economy within a game. But we've had this, and I'll probably go over this in a video in the next couple of days. Entropia Universe has existed for 15 plus years, and that is a game where you don't pay a subscription fee, you just buy stuff, a currency within the game, and then you need that currency to play the game. And then if you're lucky or you're really good at it, you can like buy land and sell land and make money and get like eggs, and these eggs sell for thousands of dollars. And that has existed for a really long time, and it's not popular as an experience for very good reasons. When somebody can just come in and drop 100 grand and buy like a nightclub and then earn money and revenue from that from people using the nightclub, there's a very small subsection of people that enjoy stuff like that. But obviously we don't know how much of this is going to be blockchain. We don't know how this is going to impact anything. And obviously if you look at EVE Online already, and most MMOs, they already have this element of like real world digital economy because they all sell gold. Like EVE Online, whenever you read a headline about a war within EVE, they sell the idea of like how big the war was in real world dollars, because you can buy currency within EVE by trading Plex, which is their subscription token. Real people buy token. Token can be redeemed for subscription, and then people trade this between each other and can sell them, etc., which essentially means that there's a dollar value on every piece of in-game currency or things that you can trade. So essentially when there's a big war, there's like hundreds of thousands of dollars of assets being destroyed during these big space battles, essentially, where all these people are playing and destroying each other's ships. So this is not like a new concept in the first place. But obviously there's the insidious element of blockchain in general that just then, are they going to sell bits and pieces of this game before it's even been played by anybody, like it usually is, because these people are just greedy as fuck? Or is it going to be one of the ones where they try to make a real game and then you launch the game and then they just have these monetization elements into it where maybe they'll be just as bad as what we've already got, maybe they'll be worse, but they're probably not going to be better in any kind of way? I guess we'll wait and see. But if we look here from BitNation, A16Z is the worst and largest scammer of all, says CEO of Swan Bitcoin. Now, obviously, Swan Bitcoin, not a company I'm familiar with at all, so let's not trust his word. But if we look at what A16Z has promoted, which is allegedly Ponzi schemes and fake crypto projects, we can see that this is probably not a company you want to be saddling up with and being like, oh yeah, we're glad to have trust in us from our partners. As you can see here, Helium was at $50 during the peak. Is now at $2. Investigation for Helium insiders amassing riches at community's expense. I recorded a video about this quite a while back. Basically what Helium was they were selling like a router thing that you plugged in your house and it mined cryptocurrency, their own token. But what people didn't know is that the people who operated Helium in the first place basically just had all these tokens in the first place. So when it started coming out, they were just selling these tokens and then obviously selling these things to people, saying, oh, if you get them in your house and you've got a bunch of them, you're going to earn a bunch of Helium and it'll be like a passive income. Wasn't, of course. Wasn't. WorldCoin, I've never heard of that, but just from the name I can tell you it sounds like a scam. Axie Infinity is what everyone points to as the original like big takeoff of a Ponzi scheme, operating essentially with the front of a game, because Axie Infinity just used Western money to exploit workers in lower economically developing countries with a game that nobody really cares about and is fun. Then got hacked for $625 million, losing everybody's money from a North Korean group called Lazarus, and essentially has lost all of its worth completely. And Bitcoin Swan's executive was one of the first people to point out the vulnerabilities in Luna, Celsius network, and now disgraced crypto exchange FTX. So this person apparently knows what he's talking about. He's pointed out all the big frauds. So as we can see here, these are tweets from Corey Swan, from the Bitcoin Swan or whatever it's called, calling out A16Z. Shield Helium, Ponzi scheme pretending to be decentralized internet connectivity network. A16Z crypto partner describing Axie Infinity. So I apparently can't play that video because Twitter just straight doesn't work. Fantastic. So there's a whole bunch of tweets here from this guy essentially going over, and apparently this guy is called bullshit on Luna, Celsius, FTX before any of them collapsed, going over why A16Z is just a company that perpetuates scams, essentially. And then I just love reading like comment sections where people just love cryptocurrency. I continue to be amused by how twisted gamers get over words like blockchain. I wonder why they do that. Take the time to understand it and don't let previous scams colour your judgment too much. This technology has a lot to offer games, and the fact is, it's coming. It doesn't have a lot to offer games that you can't already do, and also, why would you use prior experience to formulate opinions about things when you could just blindly believe that everything's gonna get better? Because that's a guarantee in life, isn't it? The line will always go up, of course. Don't use your brain to take in experiences or any kind of like history to formulate opinions. Just trust. It's definitely coming. And of course, if you disagree, you simply don't understand it. I come across this constantly. People tell me, you just don't understand. You just not looked into it. You just don't understand those two things constantly. And then when you explain to them and you show them that you do understand, they just move on to something else. Oh, you're just a boomer. You're just against change, man. You're just against change, man. He's defending every point. Crypto bros have been trying to make fetch happen for quite a few years at this point without success. But very few game bros have. Game bros. Original. Once the game is put first ahead of the speculative assets, we'll start to see different things. A company like CCP will put the game first. Yeah, because they definitely put the game first already now, don't they? If anyone's played EVE from when it started to where it is now, owned by Pearl Abyss, by the way, they definitely put their game first with Black Desert Online, don't they? It's not like every feature that gets put into the game has at least 2 different ways to be monetized in the cash shop. That is already oppressive as a convenience experience. Yeah, you definitely know what you're talking about, brother. Makes me laugh that it's the person saying, oh, you guys just don't take the time to understand, talking about something he clearly knows absolutely nothing about. I'm just saying you're going to be playing games on the blockchain no matter what in the future. People were saying that about mobile gaming. You know what I still don't do? Play mobile games. You know why? Because other games exist and they're fucking better in every conceivable way. So you may as well make an effort to understand what's going on now. Another, again, just straight straw man. You don't understand. You can't disagree with me, because if you do, you just don't understand. In this case, it's literally very legit investors, as we've just seen. By the way, the idea that people in crypto in general are very legit investors. Yeah, how's that working out for you? Half the fucking industry, like half the market cap of the industry, literally just went under for fraud. Very legit investors, though. Toward the project by injecting $40 million and referring to it as a scam without any knowledge or understanding is what I'm talking about. Players would do well to not poo-poo everything as a default, other than blockchain. We can definitely do that. Because the thing is if everyone poo-pooed microtransactions before we got to the point where we are now, gaming would objectively be in a better place. Maybe it would be less monetized, but a lot of people do this like corporate bootlicking apologist bullshit, where they say things like, yeah, but they need to make money, don't they? Like, to make games, and making games is not profitable. It was always profitable. It always will be. If you make a good game, charge a box price for it, a subscription for a persistent release game, you are going to make money. They always did. They always could have done. And anything more than that is just money going to shareholders and executives. That's it. Saying that they needed to overly aggressively monetize players and make the experience worse to do so, and design the game around monetizing people and making the experience, basically designing around inconveniencing you so that you pay to have a good time, didn't need to happen. But of course, what do I know? Again, don't let previous crypto shenanigans get in the way. This will mature and will be a major part of our future as gamers. Not if I've got anything to say about it, brother. And it will be nearly transparent to gamers if they want it to be. Once that kind of onboarding is smoothed out, it will be there. So let me get this straight. Gamers are against crowdfunding. In general, not really for me personally. I'm against blockchain. I'm not against crowdfunding. But obviously crowdfunding is basically just a gamble. Gamers are against pay to win, yeah. Some of us. Gamers are against loot boxes. Some of us. Gamers are against subscription. Some people. Gamers are against free to play. Depends what comes as the free-to-play experience. I think most people at this point are okay with like Fortnite selling cosmetics, things that don't really impact the game massively. Nobody's really playing Fortnite for like prestige cosmetics, but they obviously could have those and it would be a better experience. But I'm not going to say games like Fortnite having cosmetics are like the worst things in the world that I'd be against, because we've kind of moved on now. And free-to-play is a model that should exist because some people can't pay for games. And while you might say, then they shouldn't be gaming, I say, fuck you, gatekeeping an entire industry basically of people that can only afford to, constantly buy new games, etc. I think having cosmetics in games, as long as they're not like an MMO and it's progression based and it ruins the experience of like feeling like you're playing the game world, is fine-ish. I'll accept it. Gamers are now also against actual investors. Yeah, if we're calling them that. Unless they pass whatever invisible litmus test gamers have dreamed up. Got it. No. People just don't like blockchain. That's it. It's not really difficult to get your head around. Oh, Bree, do the journalism thing and check it out, smiley face. You've just not looked into it, man. You just don't know what you're talking about, man. All right, so that's enough reading the comments, which is always funny when you catch a crypto bro slipping. But there we go, and they're always slipping because it's a slippery slope, of course, not a fallacy. Once you get into crypto, you are just sliding straight to the bottom. When you decide to join a comment section of gamer bros and start arguing with them about how they're all just wrong, they don't know what they're talking about, and actually this is good. Just bend over, I'm coming in hot, and you'll enjoy it actually. Just touch your toes. But there we go. CCP doing CCP things. EVE Online wasn't enough. Definitely made that game worse over time, and now they're going to be making another worse experience. But Who knows? Maybe it'll come out and I'll be wrong. I'll be proven wrong yet again. Everyone will love it, and it will be because of the monetization, not just because it's a good game and people play it in spite of the monetization. But there we go. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace out.